Through your younger days and stuff, I'm sure that the guitar bands and all that stuff were the big thing happening. And then all of a sudden, this whole new idea of putting a big brass section, in a rock band.
Well, that came because I was listening to Benny Goodman.
Yeah.
Besides his small group stuff in the 30s or 40s, he
Yeah.
was his big band, the King of Swing.
Yeah. But the point that I was trying to get to was that whole mix of the big band sound, and the rock band sound. I mean, it took off.
It was totally natural, God's plan.
Yeah.
I'm 1/9 or something. I was one of the few real jazz players in the band. Some rock players.
Yeah.
The fusion thing, someone labeled the word fusion, as far as I know, maybe it was the first thing, some writer in New York City, where I'm from, when we were starting to happen around spinning wheel time, 1969 or so, 68. And so my influence is listening to big band stuff and basically jazz players.
Yeah.
And I started with big band, then I got into, when I heard Charlie Parker, I'm joking, I thought he was white until I saw a picture and when I was 13 years old.
You're not alone there,
Really?
You're probably
well,
not.
He looked different in every picture, That's a whole other story. But it was a naive thing. I brought in fact, some of the arrangements I wrote in Blood, Sweat, and Tears, the early ones where I wrote with Al Cooper, who did most of the charts, I'd fill in. I felt like kind of an apprentice or whatever.
Oh, I'm sure it was a team effort.
Yeah.
It had to be to get that sound.
I think he could have done, not the jazz thing because he's not the player, but
Yeah.
there were other things that I looked up to that he did.
Sure.
I've always been very appreciative of anybody that's really great. I still go, wow,
Sure.